Hey, welcome. Hey, you guys. Hey. I don't even know how this is gonna go. We're gonna see. I guess first, let me give an apology because this was supposed to be last night, and I am gonna try to keep it on Wednesdays. And last night would have been fine. My kids didn't have school today, and typically it's Wednesday is a good weeknight to do a live if I have to do it on a weeknight. But the girl came in from work and had a little mommy meltdown. So yeah, here I am, and now everybody is doing a live tonight. I was just like, I'm gonna hop on and do it and get it out of the way because tomorrow we got Bold and Bougie, which I see that's supposed to be a 2 hour finale. 2 hours of what exactly? Actually, it's two. It's tonight. It's Bold and Bougie. 2 hours, but I'm supposed to be recapping it tomorrow, and then Saturday Love and Marriage DC plus the Saturday set with a special guest. Child, it's a lot. I'll give you the rundown again at the end so we can get on into this show. I'm so glad it's back for a second season. I love to see the Black excellence. I'm going to give the air quotes for Mr. Preston last season. I really wanted to recap it last season. I actually did, I think, the first couple of episodes, and I did a private live, but I was grouping it together with Young African and Famous, and it was just totally too long. So I scrapped it and I said I'll let it live. So I was glad when it came back. Love the whole Martha's Vineyards thing, the historical context of it all. So I was happy to see them return. Hold on, you guys. If it's gonna be one thing, it's gonna be my nose. Um, and the gang is back. The gang is back, except for Mariah. I was hoping Mariah would make a return this season, especially after the way things went down last season. But our girl is not here. Do I even have the right picture? Let's see. I believe this. Look, I can't even see. I believe this is the people. I believe this is the people from this season. If not, I'll fix it next time we come up here. This is the one I grabbed. Let me just make sure what I have you guys looking at. Yeah, that's this the people. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, and we're just gonna get into it because I do have to work tomorrow, so I don't want to stay in here too late. Like I said, I just wanted to get it done since I didn't get it done on Wednesday, and next week I will try to do Wednesday. So it's the Summer's house. Summer house. I mean summer. We're gonna get into summer, but Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, season 2, episode 1, Old Vineyard, new drama. So we open with Jasmine narrating. She's been busy, but this is still her favorite place. And as you remember, and she's going to remind us a little later in the show, Jasmine was the one who brought everybody together. Or so she says, these were her peoples that she grouped together, and, they're renting the house. She and Jordan apparently have barely spoke in the last year, since the last summer. But Jordan is besties with everyone else, which we're also going to get into that. Nick and his girl are still together, and Amir has a new girlfriend, of the persuasion. So everybody's headed back to the vineyard. We see everybody like packing up at the airport, various locations. We're coming from New York City, we're coming from Tampa, DC, Austin. Love to see it. And we start on day 1 because they're going to do 15 days in his house. I think this season is 10 episodes, 15 days in his house. And day 1, Bria, what did I have in my notes? Bria and Milo arrived. I cannot believe she brought Milo, her emotional support dog, back with her. Milo's back on the scene with Bria. They're in a different house. It looks like a bigger house, very nice. And she's the first to arrive, so she's gonna pick her room. But shortly after she gets there, Jasmine arrives, and she is without Silas this season. Now he's deployed for 10 months in Europe, and they've only just passed they've only been married a year. He got deployed right before, I guess maybe their, or right after their 1 year anniversary. Um, and hopefully Jasmine will get to have more fun and connect with the people without Silas being there. But also, I was like, who am I gonna drag without Silas Days? Like he's such an easy read. I say this like I recapped it last season, but at home in the comfort of my own home, I was dragging Silas. Okay, so no Silas this season. We're gonna get to see him a little bit later on a FaceTime call. Jasmine and Bria apparently reconciled at Simon's birthday dinner in July of last year. Simon is also supposed to be showing up later, and I was like, child, nobody want to see Simon, but that's Bria's boo thing, so he gonna be there. Hey, Monique 69 Ways. Hey, Inga. What do you say here? I'm still not watched the episode yet. I don't think I'm not far. No. I'm gonna try and get back to Wednesday. I was just saying I had a little mommy meltdown, but I'm gonna try to keep it on Wednesdays. It's typically a good day for me to do it during the week. I hate that it's so far away, but the show comes on Sunday and it's late. Monday is out of the question. And Tuesday's just it's not such a great day. So we see Jordan and Summer. They're in the car and they're on the way to the house. And Jordan is not really excited to see Jasmine. I kind of hate where their friendship ended because they were so cool. And I feel like with Jasmine being married and all the havoc that Silas caused, that's kind of what caused the rift in their friendship. And she felt like Jasmine was last year being fake. That's my word. She said inauthentic. Same, situation. So Jasmine is saying that she needs her friends now more than ever as they start to arrive because she's not having this little talk with Bria. Yeah, you have time. The new episode comes on Sunday, I believe. You can watch it on Peacock too. So Summer's friend Noelle is going to be coming a little bit later. She does show up in this episode. I thought we might see her in another episode, but she shows up in this episode. Shanice is there full time this year, ready to start with the shits. I mean, when Shanice comes in, Shanice runs and gets in her bathing suit. She outside on the hammock because I was like, I maybe should not watch this show at work on my lunch break because as many times as it was showing us arrows of people's different locations and where everybody was, I was like, okay, Shanice is on a hammock. She needs to have, they got a trampoline in the backyard. And we're just seeing everybody's trips coming in. The fellas are starting to arrive. Child, when Alex came in, it was awkward. I said, okay. She says Summer says that she and Alex would see each other after they left the house. Now, when he comes in, she's like, trash. I said, Summer, what's going on? I was just connecting last season, and as we get a little bit into it, like two scenes after this, I think I don't even know where it is in my notes. I was like, did she sleep with this man? And yeah, I was not wrong. Amir was having a conversation with Nick, I think, in the car. I got to get used to all these names again. And he was like, I was surprised. I'm like, why does he not know who Marina Bobbitt is? Because that's basically what he was saying about his girlfriend later on. But, Amir's mixed, and so he don't really be there for a whole bunch of stuff. So, the women, had picked their rooms when they first got there. Like I said, the house is a different house. It looks bigger, really, really nice. When you go downstairs to the basement or the dungeon or whatever you want to call it, it's like bunk beds. So they decided that's where they're going to put the men, and all the men are down there except for when Preston arrives. They kind of sneak Preston upstairs and he gets like the extra room because they left the room for Noelle and there was another room. So Preston stayed there. But the rest of the guys are going to be standing in their bunk beds. And I was like, that's kind of crazy because I think Nick's girlfriend and Amir's girlfriend is supposed to be coming later at some point. So I guess we have to reestablish these rules like last season, how guests couldn't stay over a certain amount of days, although they said Simon was coming later. So with Silas not there, things should be a little less rigid. Well, it's full time. Oh, okay. Gotcha. But I thought Shanice was full time. Was I don't know, and she was in and out last season, but I didn't rewatch last season before I watched this. There you go. Do some pre-recorded. Yeah, yeah. I was going to say I remember everybody, and still, well, I know I'm going to stumble over the names. Even the names, even with notes, I know I'm going to stumble over everybody's names just because there's so many. It's a lot of people. And you got Jasmine and Jordan, and it's two J's. Oh, okay. She was part time last season. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I gathered that. Um, Speaking of Preston, him and Jordan are have gotten close, and I think he's calling her his wife or something like that. I was like, oh, Preston was my favorite from last season. He was like just really, really chill. So where were we? So child, they take a shot to Jamaica, and Jasmine gives a look because they all went to Jamaica. Preston, Jordan, Shanice, and Summer, and she didn't get an invite, but she has to kind of understand, like, Silas put her in a very, very bad position. So, like, I don't, even when we get later into the episode, I don't blame them for not like extending invitations to her because, this was what it was. So Nick and Amir, they finally arrive. Amir. Sorry, that's my nephew's name is Amir, so I have to get it in my head. Amir arrives. He has to say he's off the market. He says you could play a drinking game with me times since he said um, girlfriend. Um, he says she's crazy and she ain't gonna play all that, which is why I was kind of like, hey, you don't know who Lorena Bobbitt is. Okay. You got my number, Miss Inga. Text me. So now everybody's kind of getting the lay of the land. They're getting arranged, getting set up in the house, and they're gonna have tails and tails later with the lobster tails, and everybody's gonna tell a little story, or at least they're gonna talk. So the group starts to separate a little bit, and Preston and Bree and Jasmine, they go to get the lobsters, go to get the crabs, and we find out that Preston's dad passed away, and that the funeral is going to be while he's there. Um, and he said that he came back into his life was when he was in law school, and it felt disingenuous. So he was like, a little cruel to him. And it just when he was having the conversation, as he was, I think, as they were probably coming back to the house, I was just like, I felt so I felt for him. I know how it is to have like that those strained relationships. So like I said, Preston was my favorite last season anyway. So I just, appreciate his transparency and sharing with the group. And they're kind of letting him know, like, he's happy to be there, but they're kind of letting him know, like, however you want to celebrate, you could celebrate. We could do something while we're here. I think he said he found out from a Google alert and that the sister and him got disinvited. And how is the parent? This is about to piss me off. I'm gonna go off a little bit and then I'm gonna come back. How is the parent the one to be in the wrong and to do the wrong, but you take it out on the kids because when they become adults, they decide that they see. I don't play those games. That's why I am in therapy now. Okay, I don't play those games. Hey, LSW. Yeah, we're all just saying that, catching up all these different names. So Noel finally arrives, and we find out that Summer was dating Noel's roommate. So that's kind of how they know each other. Nick was like low key flirting a little bit. You know how he gets. Um, and the guys think, oh, she's going to be fun. And she's giving that AKA energy. And sure enough, sis is an AKA. Child, she was in there falling on the floor. Oh, I said, she's so, she's so, I think I'm going to like her. Yeah, this is when we find out that Simon's coming the last few days. Nick and Amir's girlfriends are coming. Like I said, I don't know how it's going with those bunk bed situations. So the ladies are like kind of down and stairs in the kitchen asking like what the vibe check is with Amir's girlfriend, and her name is Natalie, and they're like, oh, she's kind of standoffish, and they find that ironic because they're like, don't nobody want your man, and don't. Um, and they're like, the catch is like he was trying to talk to Jordan last summer. She's like, that's the gag. I love Gordon. I love Jordan. I think she's so pretty, but she does give you those slight mean girl vibes, and it's just kind of like, okay, girl. And I think Amir is cute. I wish the two of them had gotten together, but she friend zoned him last, whatever. He's like my aesthetic. I like the beefiness, but he's just a little too short because I like a little tree because a girl likes to climb a tree, but I digress. Um, and this is when I had in my notes, did Alex and Summer sleep together? I can't remember, child, what she did. She was saying something about him being an F boy in the kitchen. They're cooking, and I don't know why they let Bria in the kitchen again. Bria didn't put like a whole thing of Old Bay seasoning. And I said, later on she's sick, and I said that's probably why you were sick between all that seasoning and drinking. Because I was just sneezing on the other side of the screen with all that Old Bay going into there. Um, Noelle was kind of so they're cooking. Alex is talking to Noelle, and I was like, yikes. And she talks about I think she talked about being from the South and eating her grits with butter, salt, pepper, and cheese. And I said, yes, girl. Yes, girl. Come through. It's exactly how I eat mine. Now, if we want some sugar, I get myself some cream of wheat. I make myself some cream of wheat, a little cream, a little sugar, but grits, salt, pepper, butter, and cheese. Please. Yes. And thank you. Younger. Yeah. Noelle's like a little more of a fun girl. Giselle is giving. Actually, let me choose my words carefully because I don't want the AKAs to come over here with my tail. But yeah, say that again. Yes, we love the grits. Love the grits. I'm gonna leave this up here. So most folks are outside on a trampoline having fun. I guess they don't have no pool this year, so they'll probably just. I don't think the beach is too far. Um, Jasmine is already starting with the shenanigans. She's asking Noelle if she's single. Noelle says she's single. She's asking any connections. Jasmine, baby, this is the problem that they had with you last season. Stop trying to play matchmaker. Stop trying to play love connection. Just because you're married does not mean that everybody else needs to be coupled up. Let these single people do what they're going to do, okay? And if she finds somebody she's interested in, fine. And I get it, and I get being I don't even know if she's happy, but I get being happy in a relationship. Once upon a time, I was in a relationship. I don't want to tell all the business. I was in a relationship, and at the time, I called myself being happy. And I had said to one of my friends, um, something about her finding somebody, and I was like, thinking back on it now, I'm like, that's so fucking cringy that I said that. And I said it for the same reason, like you're happy, so you want your friends to be happy, but at the time, she was like, "Girl, I'm just trying to travel," and child, I should have left her alone. And she went and married that man, and they still married with kids to this day. I digress. Leave them single people alone. So she said, she's seeing because she's from, do or die, best die. She said she seen Alex out and about, and she thought he was cute, but she's worried about the connection with him. And um, Summer trying to play it cool. She said she gave her the go ahead to pursue him, and everybody in the confessional was like, "Girl, I don't know. You might want to circle back and have another conversation and revisit that one just a little bit." And I'm like, "Yes, yes." In fact, because we're coming up to it now. So night falls upon them. It's time for tails and tails, lots of tails and tails. Um, and folks was worried about the cooking as they should be, because like I said, Bree Bria put all that freaking Old Bay in there. I was like, ooh, child. I mean, the only thing about it is when you crack open the crab, you might not get all of it down to the meat. It's probably most of the season is hopefully just gonna be on the shell. And that's another thing. Them little bitty crabs, your girl don't do them little bitty crabs. Like The lobster tails, yes, absolutely. But give me like a crab leg. That's too much work for that little bit of meat, but I digress. So Jasmine says she stopped drinking 3 months ago. She's having a dry summer and she's just gonna try it out. Um, they were thinking, at somebody's party, I think she decided to do it. They're asking her if she's pregnant, and she's like, no, but I'm like, I'm wondering because I know, let me take this down for a second. If she was pregnant at that time, because I know, did she have the baby already? I know she did announce a pregnancy. So there she is, one of my favorite pictures. But she says no. She says she's not pregnant. I wonder if she doesn't know yet, or maybe she's not. Or she'll announce it at the end of the trip. Well, let me not say that, because even if she knows, depending on how far along she is, I know most people don't like to announce in the first trimester because they say it's bad. Not just as bad luck, but a lot could go wrong in that first trimester, and a baby might not make it to term. So Jordan brings up Alex having an event that everyone wasn't invited to. He says he did, and it's going left. It's going left fast. Summer was like, she wasn't invited. He said, he was the host, but he wasn't in charge of the invites. Like if you have a subscription or it was kind of put on Facebook or something, he's just trying to like pass the buck. And he's like, I didn't even know you was in New York. And she's like, I call BS, cat, whatever you want to call it. And she was like, you FaceTime Jordan earlier, and I was literally sitting in her living room. So in the confessional, she's like, why did he not invite the collective? And she says she normally defends him, but this time she can't. So Bria's like, well, Jordan and Summer went out for dinner and I didn't get an invite. I'm like, somehow I don't think this is the same thing, but here we go. So she's like, she's staying at my house. That's different. Like that was dinner, and I kind of agree with that. So Summer and Bria start to going back and forth, and Preston is like, what are we even doing here? Like what? And then Bria's like, Preston, if you want me to leave, I can leave. And he's like, girl, like you don't want to start, you don't want to play with me. And I'm like, baby, are they tipsy boots? Because I was the same thing. Like, what's going on here? So, child, finally she's leaving. He's like, oh, you want to cry? Go, hey, cry, cry, baby. I said, what? What is? Huh? Huh? So she goes inside. She's crying in the confessional. Like he's frustrated. I was totally confused. And I say, what just happened? Yeah, it was very much apples and oranges. It's like, Brie, you just throwing shit out there at this point. Hey, girl. Oh, look, you be watching so much stuff. Shoot, if you can squeeze it in, it's got like it's good. So Preston is saying that he and Bria talk every day. And then finally, she talked to somebody inside, child, and she came back. She apologizes. They hug it out. Like I said, I don't really quite understand what happened. I don't know if it was the drinks. I know Preston was going through some things. Plus, he also hurt his ankle. And I said, baby, did he hurt his ankle over there jumping on that trampoline? They didn't really explain it to us, but he had hurt his ankle. Plus, he's going through whatever, with his dad. And then Bria is probably tipsy boots. So at first, Amir goes inside because he's over it, but then he comes back outside like 2 seconds later. He's sitting at the table, and we get back into why Summer wasn't invited. And child, oh, he did. Okay, I don't remember them saying that. I was wondering if that's what it was because he said something about his ankle, and I know they was out there full line with that trampoline. Um, so Summer is not going to let this conversation go. So she brings it back and she's like, you didn't invite the person who lives in New York or the person that you've been inside of. Baby, yeah. Yikes. Okay. Yikes. Clutching pearls. Folks' faces was like, she say inside her? I said, she very, very much did say that. I was like, ooh, girl, that's. And did you have to say it that? Wow. And did you have to say it that way? She's like, let's keep it funky, okay? You was trying to hide me. You gonna mess around and sleep with me, and then you was trying to hide me. You didn't want to let the people know, but the people had already known what was going on. So it's silence. It's silence. Stokes is looking. I feel okay. We get to confessional, and Jordan's like, yeah. So this wasn't on my bingo my bingo card. Nick's like, yeah, I knew. Like, I'm friends with Alex. I'm friends with Summer. So, like, it's whatever. Amir's like, I knew the second it happened. I said, yeah, okay. And Jasmine's like, yeah, well, I'm last to know. So, Bria ain't feeling well. She heads upstairs, and Alex is like, he was not, what did he say? I don't even know what this says in my notes, child. Oh, Alex was saying something like he wasn't paying attention. She's like, "Oh, I guess we have two different perspectives." I was like, "Alex, wait, what?" Yes, it was the drama of the episode. Okay, it was definitely mic drop. Like I said, summer and summer and summer and summer at the beginning because Summer said, "I'll knock all this shit over. I knock it all over," and she did. She very much knocked it over because after that, I was just like, I can't even pay attention. I think I ended up just watching the rest of the episode and then came back and watched it again for the notes because I was like, oh, I just gotta watch this play out. You're welcome. I forgot where I got this from. Somebody had their astrology, so I put it up there because it was interesting. I said, not Bria being a Gemini. And I said, and this is probably why me and Amir, because me and the Leos, just it'd be a thing. The Gemini with the Leo, it just me and Leos is a real thing, baby. A real thing, and it gives their. I'm hitting the wrong thing. I was trying to look at it on my phone because even though everything be right in front of my face, I have a hard time seeing it. He is. Oh, now, baby, what did I do? I hit the wrong button. He is a Leo with Aquarius moon and Gemini. Come on, Gemini rising. I think I am Gemini with a Cancer moon and a Leo rising. So it just okay. Hey, Detroit. I don't usually be up this late, but I got to get this thing done so I can move on. Hey, hey. They don't. Well, it might be different because that's a whole nother book. Like my dad was big into astrology, so you have like the matches with men and women with the couples, and then you have which I really need to look at it and see how it works. Then it's different with adults and kids, like parents and children, because Gemini's and Leos it's Gemini. I'm a Gemini, supposed to be Leo, Libra, which my closest friends are Libras. I'm always attracted to a Leo, get along really well with them, and I think Aquarius. It also says Aries, and Aries I'm like kind of 50 with. It depends because sometimes I could take them, sometimes I could leave them, but yeah, that's unfortunate because clearly that laugh means it's a no. So maybe they don't get along from a parent and child dynamic. And I think I did look once to see my three kids because we're air, earth, water, and fire. Me, three boys, and then I am Gemini. What I am air. Leo's fire. My oldest is earth, and my middle I think is water. It's baby, it's a whole lot going on up in this house. Um, so Alex is trying to say like, oh, I wasn't paying attention, and in the confessional, he's like he's not comfortable, and like what like he's not comfortable with her bringing it up, and like what does this have to do with what they're talking about? Like Monique, Nicole, not Monique, Nicole. Sorry, I was just over there in live. Like Monique 69 Ways said, she wanted the table to know that she wanted. That's why she brought it up. Okay. So then he going to try to bring up her doing the same thing like with Jasmine, and I said, okay, because Jasmine was just waiting, like tag me in, because Jasmine had been talking about since she got there that the peoples that she had brought all the peoples together, and the people was not showing her love. Um, so Jasmine wants to know why. In the confessional, she's saying that she has been disconnected since last summer. She checks in on the girls, but there's no reciprocity. And they wouldn't know each other if it was for her. Baby, then they start throwing up pictures, all of the no Jasmine events. I said, baby, and I do feel kind of bad with her, but like I said earlier, Silas put her in a really bad position to not really get along with the people. So yeah, he was just very controlling. We're gonna get into it a little while when she has a conversation with Jordan, but yeah, she just was not able to be her, so it was not really a good thing. So um Alex and Bria have talked. Oh, Jasmine is saying she's talked to just talked to Alex and Bria. Shanice is never around when she calls or available to talk. Summer and her have talked here and there, and Jordan, she's not as close as she used to be, and she's not sure why. Girl, I don't know why you're confusion. And it seems to me like from later on in the conversation that Jordan, and I think feel like last season she made it pretty clear too. She made it kind of clear what her issue was, but Jordan's kind of like, I hear you, but at the same time, and this ain't the place. So they're gonna talk about it later. So like I said, Bria's sick. Amir's in there washing dishes. Preston, I hurt his ankle. They in there taking like single pictures. And then Jordan and Summer having a little conversation. Like everybody's doing their own thing and they wind down. So we roll on into day 2. Summer, yeah. And I feel bad because it's like there's no going back to where they were. So I'm hoping they can find a middle ground. That's kind of what they agreed on. So hopefully they stick with that. So still tension in the kitchen with Summer and Alex. Silas has sent flowers, and so he's having a FaceTime with Jasmine. I get all these J's right. And she's telling us that after last summer that they went back to counseling. Girl, I hope it helped because we see that we got here. So I'm hoping that the counseling helped. He sounds a little calmer on the phone, but we only got like 2 seconds of conversation with him, which I was perfectly fine with. So Jasmine is kind of saying that she's not perfect and that she has made mistakes, but when it comes to Jordan, if she is failing as a friend, I expect you to tell me what I'm doing. To expect you to tell me what I'm doing. So again, like I said, I thought that Jordan made it pretty clear last season when they had that conversation. Also, she then again makes it clear later on. So they just have to try to find a way to move past it. Jasmine is a married woman now. Things are gonna be a little different, but I don't think she should. Yeah, no, she shouldn't. She shouldn't. And more. And I'm hoping that this season, since Silas is not there, that she kind of reconnects with everybody and gets along better because she then took the stick out her ass a little bit. So, and she don't got to be so uptight because she's kind of in the background. Like she was like, the lady of the house last year, and now this year it's kind of like nobody's really paying her attention. Everybody else has built these closer connections because everybody else is single, as in not married. So everybody's the next day, everybody's dressed. They're taking shots and they head out the door because they go into the boat, the yacht, whatever. So then Preston starts talking about his dad's funerals today, and he's wrestling with feelings that are, wrestling with his feelings. It was a conflicting relationship, and he says that he's at peace and he's grateful for them to be here with him. In a confessional, he's saying, growing up, he didn't have a good relationship with his dad. His dad was alcoholic and he was abusive. At the end of his life, he came around to be a better person. He kind of hates that he had to go through the first part of it. And I felt bad because, like I said, I don't feel like when it's the parent who is the issue that you should then turn around and take it out on the adult children and exclude the kids from, like, no matter what the relationship was, he doesn't deserve to pay his respects. I mean, as it is, he's not there, but give him the opportunity. Crazy. Give him the opportunity just to say goodbye. Like, why would you do that? That sounds just so crazy to me. Um, and it made me a little emotional. I haven't lost any of my parents. I know how, you know, those type of relationships can go. And I'm just glad that they kind of seem to have turned it around a little bit. You know, he said he was cruel to him for a little while, because he felt, you know, it was disingenuous because the timing of it all probably was awful with him coming around when he was in law school. So I get that. Yeah, he's overseas now. He's deployed for 10 months in Europe, which means he won't be home for the holidays. Child, I promise you, I charge this light. Let me see something. Child, excuse me, I'm gonna go off freaking camera for a second because TikTok purchases. This thing was working fine. And now all of a sudden, I know if I don't charge it, but I charged it for some time before I came on here. And here we go with the BS. I have an extra light down here, luckily. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. Sorry, guys. It's not alive if we don't have technical difficulties. I'm just happy my kids are chilling at this point, and we don't got to deal with that. But I still got to get through Friday and Saturday. I still got to get through lives on Friday and Saturday. So let's see how that works. Oh, no, how to knock the camera down. All right, let's see. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, good enough. Um, that's all right. I'm over here having freaking technical difficulties. If any of y'all, I don't like that the camera's like this. I feel like the camera shifted when I put that light behind it. Okay, it's better now. If any of y'all buy this light off the TikTok shop or anyplace else, it's just fair warning. Now it's totally dead. It was working fine, and now all of a sudden it's not holding its charge, and I'm kind of aggravated. Oddly enough, I just had said I was getting kind of sick of that one anyway, and this is a backup one, but it doesn't have a proper tripod because my kids have helped to break two. Let me not say that because some of them just break on their own. I had two other tripods, so I just ordered this one, and it just came in today. So I'm gonna probably put it up tomorrow for my live. It's like a laptop ring light. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, he was a whole lot, and he was talking about the coverage, and he he was a jerk. All of that for a man with no facial hair, curtains. Um, so after they, talk about his dad, he pours out a little liquor. They start to turn up. They dancing, and the battery the battery's dying. So Jasmine wants to talk to Jordan, who Jordan doesn't even really want to have the conversation. But I'm like, but when, Jordan? But when are you going to have the conversation? Like, first, you don't want to have the conversation at the dinner table. Now you want to have fun, which I get, and you don't want to have it in a boat. So you don't want to have this conversation at the vineyard at all, is what you're saying, because the whole time you're supposed to be enjoying yourself. So, like, just give the girl 5 minutes to have the conversation. And Jasmine and Jordan. Jasmine is saying the distance between them is hurtful. She asked Jordan for her perspective. I'm just trying to make this short but sweet because I try to not give you guys everything. Sometimes I miss it, and sometimes it's just like I don't have it in my notes because Lord, the notes be noting and it'd be way too long. So she says, yeah, she pulled away. She said, she was mistrusting what she was seeing, and she didn't know that person or if she could trust them. Um, so Jasmine is saying last year was a lot with her marriage, and Jordan is a straight shooter. But Jordan's like, I was shooting straight and you weren't reciprocating it, which I agree with her because when she was saying, like she's so confused, I'm like, like I said, I feel like she was pretty clear last season, and in this conversation, she's again being clear. So I don't understand where the confusion is. It's just they have to figure out where the point of move on is going to be and what this new relationship is going to look like. Child, rat tat 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 on the walls. All of that was too much too. I have that very thing in my notes. Um, so in the confessional, Jordan is kind of saying Jasmine was basically, my words, putting on like the step for wives instead of being flawed like everyone else. And when she met her, she had like a half shaved head. And I was like, yeah, Jasmine, you know, your girl like a little shave. I mean, I'm shaved on both sides. Um, and so she's kind of just like, so they start talking about I guess it was a group text, and Silas and Jordan came to a resolution, but not Jasmine. In the confessional, Jasmine says that she's been calling and no one checks on her. And this is when I have in my notes that Jordan is getting mean girl, and she does not want to, kind of like what Monique was just saying, that she doesn't want to be her friend anymore. And I was like, it's painful to watch. They talk about reestablishing a friendship, but ending a friendship is worse than ending a romantic relationship because, hey Greta, it just hits very, very hard. Um and sometimes when you don't end them, I'm trying to decide if I want to have this conversation or not. I'm not, because I'm gonna start crying. But losing friends, ending friendships, moving on from friendships, dissolving them, all of those things can be even worse than like I said, a romantic relationship, because you're sometimes more deeply connected and for a longer period of time. So it's hard to let go. So I feel for them. I hope that they can work it out. They're not going to be where they were. So I hope we could just maybe start with my favorite word, cordial. Start with cordial and build, and then maybe get to there. But maybe with Jordan being single, like maybe once she's in a relationship, they'll be able to like pull it back together and they'll be closer. Not that I'm rushing her to the relationship, because I just said let the single people be single and let them do what they want to do. So Alex and Summer are sitting. He said, you want girl, I want to talk to you about last night. And Summer says she felt disrespected by not being invited. When someone has been inside you, I said, Summer, please stop saying it like that. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's just, girl, it's a little graphic. So she's like, there's a love that you have for each other, and he disagrees and feels like it's a reach. And I agree, because sometimes you have sex with people and you don't love them. So there's that. Men do it all the time, and you're talking to a man. So I don't know why you thought, but I guess she felt like she was gonna mean more to him than she did, because like Monique was saying earlier, it's definitely giving F-boy vibes, because he was kind of real smooth with her last season and it was like chilling and everything was good. And then all of a sudden they hook up and it's like you want to hide homegirl in the closet, you don't want nobody to know. So she's like, she expects to be included, and he calls that expectation unfair. He says it's their business if the two of them slept together and that everybody doesn't need to know. She's like, they knew. She told Jordan, and went through the grapevine. She sent a picture. He's upset about her sending the picture. And I kind of was like I said, I don't like the whole you trying to hide. It just very much I'm trying to hide you. Like, y'all should have had a more concise and clear conversation. But we as women sometimes don't do that. And I get it. So in the confessional, Um, she's like, "Oh, he thinks that I want a relationship, but I've never like came out and said something like she never came out and said that." And he's in his F boy era basically, but she kind of makes it seem like she's cool with it and like she knew what it was, but that's that's not what you're showing us, girl. Because you just said it to the whole table. So hopefully Noelle takes the hint and don't, you know, go that direction. So she apologizes for the expectations she had. Shanice is like, yeah, having a lot of serious conversations. I think it was Shanice. Y'all having a lot of serious conversations. Like, let's get to the fun. So they take some shots and they turn up, and then that's where we end. When they swag, they surf, they say, you know, they hitting they swag surf. So yeah, child, that was that. I didn't write down any notes for the next episode. It looks like I think Nick is about to be flirting with Noelle. I know Alex has been whatever. I'm like, Nick, don't you have a girlfriend? Ain't your girlfriend coming? If I got that wrong, you can correct me. Um, and I forgot something else. I noticed on there, and I can't even remember. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Jordan could be a little jealous of Jasmine, but yeah, she could be. It is very hard, and I part of me understands um Jasmine's perspective because, like I said, I was on that side of the fence. I was engaged. I was saying to my friend, like, girl, you know, which I looking at it now is so cringy that I said that, but it was along the same lines. And then I also see Jordan's side of it because now I am like I'm a single mom, but I'm like the single friend. Like my best friend's married, my other like childhood best friends married. Like all of my friend group, there's no single. I think everybody's married, whether they be on their first or their second husband. I think everybody's married, even onto like people that I went to high school with. I have, yeah, yeah. So being the single friend is a lot. So even when you're not jealous, just the dynamic is very different. Like I personally, I never give marital advice. My marital advice is always go to therapy, go to marriage counseling because you know I'm not for breaking up no homes now. DV is the only like I draw the line. Me personally, everything else I kind of steer away from it because you never know what you know. Everybody else's limits are different. So some people cheating is not a deal breaker. Some people it is. So I'll be trying to stay out of it, but yeah, it creates a different dynamic when once you met, y'all was chilling, now you're married, and now the dynamic is different. Trust me, I get it. And they're not, but damn, like, do he gotta like give it a cold shoulder like that? Try to hide the girl in the closet, like you gotta do all that, Alex. And now he trying to play. Now y'all back. Like, I don't know why you. It's kind of like you're not really supposed to. It's kind of like not messing with somebody you work with. You kind of ain't supposed to do that with your friend group either because you make it awkward for the friend group. Y'all knew you was gonna be coming back to the vineyard this year, whether y'all was on a show or not. And so now you have made it awkward for everybody because she keeps staying inside her. I'm just like, I hope we move past it. Um, for the next episode, I hope Noelle realizes, like, don't, girl, don't go there, don't do it, Noelle. Leave him right over there, okay? But that was not the decision to make. I thank you guys for coming and rocking with me. I'm going to try to get back on schedule. I know this is only the first episode, but for episode 2, I would like to go to Wednesdays. Hopefully, I can keep I won't be sick, emotions, all of the things, um, on a Wednesday. So we're gonna aim for Wednesday, either 8:30. I'm gonna try to post and let you guys know. But so we'll do that Wednesday. Friday will be this. Well, tomorrow I'm supposed to be doing Bold and Bougie. It's the season finale. I'm not sure if they have a reunion. If they have a reunion, I will be doing Martha's Vineyard Wednesday, Bold and Bougie again on Friday, Love and Marriage DC on Saturday. Um, Also this Saturday right here, I'll be doing a Saturday sip right after the Love and Marriage DC, my special guest, Shayna NCD. And Sunday, even though it's Easter, I may try to squeeze in Diara from Detroit. If I don't get to it Sunday, when am I off? Am I off Tuesday? Even Monday night or Tuesday, but we're gonna try for Sunday because I want to keep my Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule for as much as I can. They're both consenting adults. Friend group didn't have a problem with it. That's it. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. They both says it's child. My son's talking to me. He's throwing my reading off. Yeah, the mic is on, and I'm live. Oh, probably not when you were whispering, but now I'm having a full-on conversation. And the adults in that friend group didn't have a problem with it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it makes the dynamic weird because unless someone was really with it makes the dynamic weird if you want to talk to somebody else, which is what it looked like he was trying to do. So, yeah, I just think that was something that they should not have. Just me personally, just my opinion, because, like I said, I'm hoping we can move past it, but she ain't over it. I need her to stop giving him all that energy. Give me a second. I saw it or I heard the vibrate. Anybody that comes through on the replay, leave a comment, hashtag replay, drop an emoji, any of those things. It just helps your girl with the algorithm and my engagement. So please, by all means, help a sister out. I just gave you guys the rundown of what I have coming up next for the weekend. Girl, yes. She know like we know. And that's why I was laughing on the confessional when she was talking about it. Like, we know what Summer said, but give it a minute. Everybody in the confessional was like, yeah, you might want to circle back. And then when she dropped that bomb at the table, I was like, child, I hope she's picking up what she's putting down, because this ain't what you want. Woo, child, just troublesome. For my son come back in here and this door, even though I'm able to get off of here anyway. I thank you guys for coming through. LFW, Greta, who else was Inga 71. Oh, what's Greta in here? Am I just making up things? Anywho, whoever was in here or may come through. Oh, my sweet perspective. Detroit Kings popped his head in for a second. Oh yeah, Greta was here. I'm like, I appreciate you guys coming through. Oh, I have one more banner for you guys. Your girl has goals. I'm trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Short-term goal is please help. Don't you start like, okay. Please help me get to 500 by June 1st. I appreciate it. Share the video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for coming through. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I appreciate you guys all immensely, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.